So today we continue our wealth education series, The Secret Empire, The Psychology of Luxury. Now we're focusing specifically on Hinsdale, Illinois, and high-ticket luxury real estate. So let's say $2 million and higher. And the percentage of homes that are sold in this type of price stratosphere, I was shocked. So homes over $4 million right now in suburban Chicago are selling in less than 30 days and are up 65% over last year. So it got me to thinking, why are these trends happening? And what are the tax advantages that these families acquire when they own these types of homes? So there's called the 1301 exchange, which basically, when you buy any sort of property, as long as you buy a lifestyle property, you don't pay capital gains tax. Another one is the step up in basis tax clause, meaning if you inherit a home and a person passes away and they didn't sell it before they passed away, you get to inherit that home with no capital gains tax. You can borrow against it, you can sell it, but you don't have to pay what the original person, paid for it. You don't have to pay the tax gain on that. You step up in basis of what the value is. And another tax advantage that these people have is what they get to do is they get to borrow against the value of the home, and you don't pay tax on a loan. And so when you hear people say the rich people don't pay tax because they borrow, they use debt to create wealth, this is sort of what they're talking about. They're talking about big ticket apartment complexes. They're talking about big, 10, 20, 30, $40 million homes and borrowing against those assets, then continually refinancing against those assets, and then eventually just passing those assets down to your children. And you just start that whole cycle over again. It's called the buy, borrow, and die philosophy. I'm not too big of a fan of the name of that term, but apparently it's so common that any affluent person really understands and knows this. So when you hear of a person say they work for a family office or, they have a team of 10 to 20 tax attorneys and accountants that just manage like a family's real estate, this is essentially the nuts and bolts of what they're talking about, is borrowing against property, taking, payments from properties and borrowing them as a loan. It's definitely what the ultra wealthy do. But let's just say you own a $200,000 house and you step up to a $300,000 house. You get the same tax advantages that someone does when they buy a $20 million home and step up to a $30 million home. It gets more exponential the bigger the real estate transaction gets. So what Hinsdale people and Winnetka and Vail, Colorado, and Florida, these people who own high-ticket real estate, is they understand that these empires are tax havens. They are advantageous. They're better than keeping your money in a bank. That is why